Welcome. It's the last. It's a historic date because it's the last event of the year. So first, I'd like to thank everybody. Especially, I'd like to thank Enrico for having made this year so successful. And I thank Chris, Ellen, and the other student workers who are not here, and all of you for coming, for attending our numerous events. So you didn't come to listen to me. I'm Robert Dejarik, by the way. I'm the butler of this organization. So who will introduce the theme? Regis? Yeah. Engin? Okay, Regis.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Monsieur Regis.
In English, not in French.
I'll try.
Yeah. This is a multilingual university, even though I don't want to have to translate.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having come tonight. I'm the producer of Cut, the movie you will not see tonight, but with the director of, Tokyo is the director of the movie. The idea behind Tokyo Story was to try to make events or movies or plays that would get the best out of Japanese culture and, so to speak, foreign culture. We would take foreign artists and bring them in a Japanese context, or we would use Japanese people in a foreign context, and we would try to use both the strengths on both sides. And when we met Amir Naderi, we found this was perfectly a project that was fitting the social object of Tokyo Story. When we met also Amir, I was joined by Engin Yenidunia, who is there, and Iranian American, and the three of us managed to produce the movie in a little bit less than a year. Producing meaning financing, directing, editing, introducing, and releasing it finally on December 17. So without further ado, I will leave you to Amir, who has had a very great career. He has made maybe 17 movies, if I'm not wrong. Maybe he doesn't know himself anymore, but he lives in cinema, so to speak. His life is only about cinema. You can't talk about anything else, but it's so rich that you can speak forever with him. And he's a very great speaker, much better than I am, so I will just leave the floor to him and thank him for being here today.
Thank you very much. Actually, it smells like Christmas everywhere. You said this is the last event in this year, and thank you very much for giving me a chance to be, my film and my people, and thank you for your time coming. As you know, I'm Iranian. Actually, I made a feature film in my country, and then I left my country to New York, not because of any, political or this or that, just because I'm ambitious and I want to get more from the world and from the life, which I did, I think. And 24 years ago, I left my country, never back. And I live in New York for 18 years, and also 6 or 7 years I live in Las Vegas. I'm gambler, good gambler actually. Don't worry about that. And also and also in the past 20 years I'm teaching Japanese cinema around the world. All Japanese cinema, black and white mostly, around the world. Always I do workshop or this or that. I pay my way for that. Just want to know that. Not just jump to this country to make movies. And then very obsessed with the period black and white in this country. I'm very obsessed with there's a old director and transition from black and white to color and everything about the Japanese cinema, which I'm so obsessed with it. And I think world cinema without Japanese cinema is impossible. That can exist, can go forward. I'm talking about past. And including today, I think some of the very good filmmakers exist, and young filmmaker or the independent filmmaker, they do it very well also. The film is called, I worked with John Cassavetes in his last film, Love Stone, that I worked with him, and I find that Cassavetes is one of the most tragic person in the history of the cinema and modern cinema. For raise the money, for making movie, for for distributor or for go to next film or this or that, and finally he died in a very bad way. And then I thought, I should work about him and make the one film about him. And I started writing a script, and with one of my close friends from Montreal was Iranian, Abu Farman. And after that, I find that because my whole idea about Cassavetes is how can talk about the last century cinema, and start with the conservatives, then go to, the talk about the whole cinema for the world and the past 100 years, and come back again to new cinema. I find that genre life is, very larger than life, bigger than life, and not give the space to me to, talk about other things. And including that, Conservative's life is, very dark, and he died very badly. My characters always survive, and no matter what's happened to them, they try to survive and try to keep going and do something new, which is, cut. And then is the 10 years ago I come over, and I meet the guy, my actor. I think 8 years ago, 7 years ago I met him anyway. I always come over as a teacher or as the Jury Film Festival or this or that. And I meet this Nishijima-san, which is very cinephile and is crazy about cinema too. And actually there's most of the ladies are also very crazy about cinema too. And we get friends, and I'm talking about Conservatives with him, and he loved it. And I said, okay, I want to make the film about, there's a kind of conservative person in Japan, which is Shuji, and there's a, which is after that, I started writing the script. There is the Shinji, there's a Ayama, helped me a lot for the transfer the dialogue and everything to Japanese, which is one of the great filmmakers. And there's before that also, these three persons, there's a Engin-san, Reggie-san, and Eric-san. They helped me to make this film happen, and they trust me, and they make the space for me and make it, there's a bridge for me to there's a capture anything I want, and they never influenced me in the this or that. They just, opened the door for me and pushed me to do this film, and now this film is, next couple of days want to go to cinema in this country, which is I'm so happy for it. What else I can say? I think we should, just, see, one trailer, and after that, if you want, any question, I can give you answer about anything, about cinema, about my past, about this, about whatever you want. How about that? Cut. Sound, please. And I started from beginning, please. No problem. Yeah. Take two, no problem. I'll be familiar with that. Okay, sound, go. Anything you can, please.
As much as possible.
Go up. Okay. Okay, action from beginning, please. And I'm confident for God's sake. most important for me, I came to this country to make a Japanese movie, not bring the character from another country or use the location as a. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello. Nothing different. It's okay. Yeah. Most important for me is I come over to this country to make Japanese movie, not use a location, exotic location or this or that. And I saw every film I think is in the past cinema that make the other people that made in Japan are not very satisfied with it. And then I said, how I can do something, make one Japanese movie, there's that. And I choose the 3 directors, which is I'm teaching always. There's a Kurosawa-san, and Mizoguchi-san, and also there's Ozu-san. Everything movement and editing is in this film is and film editing and movement and every action or something like that is came from Kurosawa period. And every long take or there's the long take is going to inside the character mind or this or that and introduce the heart of my characters came from the Mizoguchi-san. Every there's his camera study and the silence in this film came from Ozu-san. And everything about the woman in this film came from Naruse-san. Everything in this film, I try to there's I homaged my love to Japanese cinema. That's the reason I made this film. And that's it. If you have any question, I can give you an answer. Yes, sir.
Do you want to, because some people may not have followed the trailer, do you want to talk about the story a little bit? What the plot is?
The plot is, there's a very simple plot, actually, because I'm very obsessed with the film noir. And, I'm teaching film noir in New York, mostly. And I think the plot in the film noir is very interesting. And I try to use that, that kind of plot in here, too. The brother, young guy is a filmmaker, and he always borrow money from the brother, and brother work with the Yakuza people, and borrow money from Yakuza people with a big interest, and give it to this brother to make a movie, and his movies never get anywhere. Nobody buy it, nobody sell it, nobody put it in cinema, like cosmetics, this life. And then the brother interest, he get owed to Yakuza on and on and on until, the accident that he get killed. And then after that, they come into after brother and young brother, this guy, and says, okay, now you should pay back to us. And he's feel guilty about the 2 things. The blood of the brother, exactly in the one shoulder, and also the film he did it, and he believed it, how he did it. And tried to torture himself, not torture, try to put himself as a, the sandbag, and get the punch, and get money, about any punch he can handle it. And then he's, finally he's physically, he get very destroyed, but his inside is get more strong, and finally he start to make a film again. That's our plan. Yes, sir.
Could you tell us, obviously we're a foreign university in Japan, so we're very interested, like you go with your background, and you're interested in Japan and not Japanese. What kind of generated your interest in Japan and in Japanese movies? From your childhood onward.
Actually, there's a put it this way, let me say that. I came to this country with the technique I learned from American movies. Okay. Then I find it, okay, that doesn't work to make a movie in here. Because, there's a totally against of the culture of the Japanese. Because the Japanese culture is, there's a very stingy culture for me. There's so much rules, so much, there's a system and so much detail and so much, so many things in Japan is, stop you to do something until they believe you and they trust you. Okay, then I find it, okay, I have only the treasure in my heart from my past, that one Iranian. I'm Iranian. I bring that relationship and that attitude to this country and make a connection with the people, my actor, my crew and this and that, then make these things happen. As a result, the Japanese culture is very close to my past culture, which is Iranian. It's very, very close. We respect about the old people, we respect about the life. We never see, we don't have a competition like that, like American. American always say, me, they want to have a number one, or whatever, things like that. Here, everything came from the crew an elite, and there's people being work together, or make it combine together about doing something. I love it because I think Japan is the most interesting country today. No matter what happened to them, no matter what they live always in the shadow of their life. Half the Japanese people, half of their life is, or half of their character always be in this someplace in the shadow. You never know it. You never can touch them, and they're very stingy to get close to you and until to trust you. I think the big dialogue in this country is silence. Silence and the trust and listening to you and judge you with their eyes, with their silence, then tell you yes or no. That's it. They never complain. They never do any negotiate with you. They're listening. They believe you or not. If they believe you, the door is open. If they don't believe you, try to be very gentle way. Go away. Which is I like it. I like it a lot. For me, raised in Iran and then for 20 years or 24 years, I live in Vegas and New York. I come over because we always live in the spontaneous situation. We go with the improvised life. Today this, tomorrow this, until to noon this, afternoon that. But in Japan, if you go to set or you want to work with the actor, they should know exactly what the hell is going on today. How many set up the camera? What is the dialogue? How many scenes? What is this? What is that? You started doing. You could have finished it doing. That is very challenging for me, and I loved it. I think this country has so much great roots from the past, and they never lose them. Even there's a culture from the West. There's a if you go to Ginza or this or that, you see it. But after that, if you go to a small town or go other city, you exactly feel it. What is Japan? And I think you can trust the culture. Culture is there's a very very specific, clean from the past. For me, very touchable, and I can feel it, and that's the reason I want to make 2 more films in here. Next, please. Yes, sir.
May I ask, how did you meet the Japanese film? How and when did you meet Japanese film?
Actually, there's I don't know about my country or not. I'm sure you know that. I think that one of the best cinema today came from Iran in the past 20 years. I believe that. So many great directors, including so many young directors and so many talent. Because in my country, no matter what was the politics or this or that in the past or today, always we have a chance to watch a film. Or there's for example, I remember, for example, I'm 14 years old. I watched Seven Samurai, for example. Or they coming, they show the film from around the world. And we learn about it. And then also we have different culture attaché or something like that from different embassy in my country. Every week they show the film, like festival or this or that. After that, I went to Paris for 6 months. I stayed there. I tried to watch so many films from Japan. Then is there for a long time, always anything happened in Modern Art of Museum of Modern Art in New York. I tried to watch it. Then also I have one of the big collection about Japanese cinema in my home. Yes.
Thank you.
Please. I think as Japanese cinema, in Japanese cinema you can see so many things from the day culture. They make a film with their own heart. I'm talking about mostly in the past. The film today they're making, of course, there's a special effect movie or this or that. I'm not into it. I don't want to talk about that. This is not my job. What is in the past you can see so many things. There's from Japanese culture and Japanese life and Japanese characters in the films. For example, even the very very Somai Shinji, for example, one of my favorite, not too far, 80s he made a movie and he died. I think so Japanese movie. So much talk about culture, and this time he tried to talk about the new generation, school people. Nobody made the film about the school people like that before. nobody talked about the girls or boys or this or that small town, nobody. And I think it's so many great details about how the young people grow up in this country, and then, there's a child within the effect and the character in the future. And I think he's one of them, an amazing filmmaker. And I'm so sad about that he's died early, 50s or something. But the Japanese cinema always can make me surprised. And I tell you this, Japanese cinema influenced so much this world cinema in the past. Neorealism cinema, neorealism in Italy, directly came from Japanese cinema. Came from all of them came from Shimizu, Hiroshi Shimizu. All of them, these people, there's Kenji Mizoguchi, so many directors in the past, they make the film and then they vote, there's influence from that. Long take in France, even, the people like Max Force, even like, there's a Visconti in Italy or this or that, all of them came from Mizoguchi. The way they work with the woman, nobody can work with the woman in cinema better than Japanese cinema in the past. Never. A couple of directors, of course, is great, like Max Force, of course, and like Bergman, of course, like Buñuel in the different way, or like Antonioni, like this, like that. But all of them get influenced from, this Japanese cinema. Very slowly, very slowly. And as a result, Japanese cinema is very, very important in the past. And always I'm looking that should be something happen in future again and coming up and, present himself effectively and, amazingly in future. I believe that should be happening.
This is a question that was asked to you at FilmX, but the interpreter was so bad that you failed to answer it, so let me ask again. In this movie Cut, the main character gets paid to be punched.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to be so ignorant about my country, but is there such profession in this country or in the Yakuza world, or did you make that up for this movie? Thank you.
Actually, there's I wrote this script before I come over, because part of the cinema imagination, but as Garcia Marquez, as a writer, says, imagination, you can do anything you want if you can make it believable. That's the reason. And I come over, actually, the Regis-san told me, early 80s, somebody's, in Shinjuku do this and get punched and get money. And another person told me about the other guy. And one day, actually, the Regis-san is show me the one book about that character. Yeah. But that one is symbolically, not just because of you get punched. The reason is punched because, I don't have anything in my life except the cinema. I left my country because of cinema. I live anywhere because of cinema. I'm in here because of cinema. I'm talking with you because of cinema. Nothing is else for me important. Because it's always I'm thinking, for example, if any young filmmaker making movie not go anywhere, I feel it, I get punched. If any person, try to do something personal or to try to express himself as a filmmaker, he cannot do it, I think it's a get punched. Anytime, you make movie, but borrow movie, make movie, and send it somewhere, nobody responds about that, I feel it, I get punched. Anytime, there's always, I feel it, there's the cinema in the past is getting lost. I'm worried about it. That's always, 20 years from now, nobody knows who's the Mizoguchi or who's Buñuel. That's the reason I get punched. That's the reason I said, okay, I make the one character, it's Japanese, because this film actually can make it happen in here. Because, for example, this film is impossible, I can make it in Belgium, or Denmark, or French even. Because everywhere around the world talk about they want to be number one, or number this, number that, and they have they put themselves in the competition for life and for money and for power. But in here, I find that my character, it looked like last samurai exists, trying to save something. There's some symbolically or something, or I feel it. That's the reason he tried to get punched. Every punch tried to save the one film. In the end, he tried to save the 100 movies, and he get, there's a punch over and over, but he survived. And then after that, he tried to make movie. As a result, let's say symbolically and unconsciously, I come over. Mr. Regis helped me to, this happening here. And but whole the story came from my feeling about cinema today, which is very sad.
Hello.
you've mentioned that you're obsessed with old movies, but do you think that modern movies have become worse, or what do you think is so terrible about modern, and specifically Japanese modern cinema?
I think it's not fair if to judge anything. It's just, there's I think it's, there's a American cinema, the Hollywood influence to hold the cinema in the world, not just Japan. If you go to Australia, you can't feel it. If you go to any country, any classic country, there's Italy, French, this, that. But always, you can see there's so much good talent. So much good talent around the world, including in this country, including, there's any country in Europe, or including New York or San Francisco, or, there's Chicago or any other place like that. But the problem today, man, there's no place to show. We have a problem for theater. Theater always, independent theaters get closed and closed everywhere, including your country and London. Except the Curzon cinema, Coppola cinema like that, not so many cinema. In France, you can find it, of course, but one cinema with the 35 or 40 seats, they cannot do anything with it. They always show the old film, which is great. But it's, I'm worried about that. For example, your country, Your country in the 60s, you guys have at least 6 or 7 amazing directors. Tony Richardson is amazing. Carl Rice is amazing. Lindsay Anderson, amazing. So many great directors in your country in the past, and so many writers like John Osborne, like the printer, like this, like that, the work in cinema, which does not exist today. Not gone with the wind, everything. Cinema talent exists, not place to show. Unfortunately, our job, is different than the writer. You can sit in the home, write a novel or this or that, and publish it or not publish it, go to another, there's university to read it for people, or this book. But cinema, we need money, we need time, we need people, we need this, we need that to make it cooperate, everything, bring it to one thing and show it to one person, which is takes time and money. Well, and after that, as I said about John Cassavetes, there's no place to show these days. Very difficult, including in Turkey. How many cinema we have now? Not me, not we. I think 10 probably, here or there, independent, with a little bit, chair or this or that. But talent is everywhere. And 2 weeks ago, I'm the chairman jury at Filmex. I saw so many good films from Japanese young filmmakers. Amazing, amazing talent everywhere in this country, but not place to show. That's the whole point. Yes, sir.
We need a mic for recording, right? Okay. You mentioned that you learned about Japanese movies in Iran. Can all of them be freely shown? Do they sometimes suffer from censorship? What's the reaction of the authorities to Japanese movies? Because they don't necessarily. Maybe the dress codes are a little different from the ones that are enforced by the government in Iran. The portrayals of sexuality and everything. Can they be shown in any movie theater in Iran? Or
actually, in the past 20 years, 24 years, I've never been in Iran. As a result, I don't know about that. But I know the black market cinema with DVDs, amazing things that's happening in my country, and people don't know about it. And I think, there's in the past, we don't have so much, except, 1 or 2 films from the Oshima-san, about the empire of this, obsession about the empire. What is the title about?
I know Corrida.
Yeah. Except that one, or a couple of films like that, or one film is Obsession, actually, for Ichikawa-san, and a couple of films like that have, sex or this or that, which is we read it already, the book, translated already in the country. We know it, all the atmosphere and world about it. But censorship, yes, in my country, always. In my country, in the past, most censorship came from politically, not sexually. Sexually, of course, somehow here or there, but mostly politically. Today, I don't know. I'm sure both now, sexually or as it says, or politically too. But let me tell you something. Censorship is very good for art, not for the people. For artists, it's amazing. It's amazing. Why? Because of challenge. Why? Because you try to find one way. Why? You want to do something. Why? Because they punch you, you punch them too. Yeah? I remember early 80s. I remember in the early 80s, I went to my government in my country because they says, nothing about women, not about bed, not about this, not that, not that. I said, okay, what is it we can make? Actually, me and Kurosawa, my friend, we go there. You know, I'm talking about a long time ago. They said, kids and animals. I said, great. We adopted kids movie from our country, which I did with the runner. Kurosawa, we did that with the, you know, there's so many films about kids, and other director for a long time kids movie. And we changed the cinema in the world. Which if we get influence from the blues, or from Shimizu, or from this, from that, for so many directors, no problem. But not good for people, good for artists. Believe me. Because so many things, you know, that happen after the doors get opened, you know, everything is, you know, if the rules and push not exist, artists sometimes get lazy, or get repeated, or try to, you know, that. But for us, to get born with them, and we grew up with these kind of things. To how can, you know, there's a, you know, deal with the censorship. And I think the Iranian cinemas came out in this way. I believe that. But of course, you know, censorship is, you know, horrible things for the life.
I remember Czesław Miłosz, the Polish Nobel Prize winner in literature, in the 80s, giving a lecture in the United States and saying that American literature would benefit from censorship. And when, you know, he made the point that you made, that it actually had, quote unquote, helped him to write under a totalitarian regime, to be more innovative, to think about other ways of doing things.
Blacklist in America also in the 50s is an amazing writer, like Albert Marx, like Trumbo, Dalton Trumbo, like, you know, there's Abramowski. So many great writers came from that period. Actually, it's an amazing way. They make it amazing document about the whole life and about that period in the early 50s and in the war, and never happened after that. I'm talking about Samuel Fuller, with the Iranian guy in here. Samuel Fuller, one of the amazing person, you know, always, you know, he fighting with the, you know, there's a studio people like Zanuck or this or that, or Zanuck to work for the government, but it doesn't matter. He tried to find one way to make something more original. Which is, you know, these days I'm watching this film, you know, I'm teaching this film, you know, I think it's amazing movies. You know, just because if you see the Sharp Corridor, exactly, you know, about censorship. All of them. And there's so many films like that. I think it's, you know, there's in America after that, even in Vietnam, the censorship has come up, it's great. Even until the early 70s, great. After that, unfortunately, there's after Reagan situations come up, that one is so strongly, because the government put it in different way. That way, you know, there's a Star Wars movie or this movie, or, you know, power movies, or, you know, try to, you know, there's start to brainwash the kids, you know, and they did it actually. And Cinema Today in New York, I think it's a great filmmaker, but no place to show. In Philadelphia, for their own culture, amazing, no place to show. Boston people, kids, amazing filmmaker. In Chicago, and I says, actually there's in San Francisco, very good filmmaker. But they try to talk about everything, but you don't have a chance to see it. Nobody has a chance to see it. And that's the problem, again, coming from the theater.
I have another one. You talked about the similarity between Japanese and Iranian culture.
Yeah.
Is there a similarity between Japanese and Iranian movies?
Actually, yes. Yeah. I think it's, you know, there's most of the Iranian cinema, if you see it, we don't have so much editing. We always, you know, respect about the character. We respect about the silence. We respect about the mise en scène. If my character is sitting and eating in the floor, the camera always like Ozu-san sit, you know, never looking like that. Very respect. And also there's pacing. The pacing, there's that people talk together very similar with the, you know, there's in Japan, people talking, people listening. I think one of the amazing things in Japan are learning, the amazing people listening, which is in America, is impossible. Everybody interrupt each other and this and that and that. Yeah, the listening in this country is amazing. And we have that. The listening came from respect. Of course. And also, our subject is always, came from the own experience. Mostly, own experience. We experience it, then we make the film about it. Okay? Or we hearing something, we match it with the own experience in the past, then make a film about it. Or we get obsessed or interested with something, and then there's but we try to go with it and get some texture from it to match with your own experience, then make the film about it. Which is, I think, all of them film, for example, from the Mizoguchi-san, which is more than 100 movies, all of them came from his heart, and even if you're not living in the past like that, I think is Naruse-san, one of the amazing filmmakers in the world. About the woman is about family, about silence, about pacing, and yes, my country is very similar.
I have a question about the actors and what's so special about this Nishijima-san? Like I see, like you said, like you got so excited when you saw him and then talked to him. But what was so special about him, and what do you think about Japanese actors?
You want to know about Nishijima-san or Japanese actor?
Both.
One thing very surprised me about Nishijima-san, handsome guy, interesting person, this and that, and he's hiding so much anger from inside himself. Which is, I didn't find that so many people have in this country, which is because of the manner, because of their knowledge, and because of their culture. They're not screaming, they're not trying to complain anything. Which in America, right away this happened. But in here, and then I talked with them, I find that he wants more. He wants something about his acting, and he don't have a chance to get to that kind of part. Because he's working in the, of course he did a couple of films with the Kitano-san, the dolls, But one thing is he wants something doing it in a different way. There's a little bit, broken the walls, or there's or something. And then after we see each other, there's I think he saw my craziness and he loved it. And also, one thing about Japanese actors, they have amazing experience, which is America no. America, there's in Hollywood actor, yes, they have experience. In New York actor or other actors, because independent filmmaker, one film they make it today, and 3 years later, another film. Or they go to theater or this or that working. And here, everybody busy every day, every week. And the drama, and the cinema, and the film, and the this, and television, everybody know about everything. That's the reason I come over, I see that everybody knows so much, and I try to cut the acting from there, to bring them down, to know acting. That's the most important things. And the Nishijima, listen to me very well. Actually, there's so many things, and this one came from him. And one thing I find that in him is very interesting, nobody used it, or his body language. Body language in the past, in the Japanese cinema, amazing way. Amazing job, no matter what, samurai or this or that. But dancing, just look into last 25 minutes and what is it, that Seven Samurai. Look at Mifune-san, look at his body language, to horse, coming, acting, amazing dancing choreography, not just action. And we lost that. Today's cinema, mostly in Japan, close up and saber, make a movie and crane on this and that, one woman cut. Mostly. There's a, and I find that they have so much experience. For example, I work with the Tokiwa-san, which is she's great. Actually, we went with the Indian-san, with the Eric-san, and with the Regis-san. We went to her office, and we sit down. There's that. And I'm obsessed with the cookie. That cookie in the Kamakura. That cookie, what's it called? What's it called, that cookie? Is it bird's cookie? Yeah, that's it. I said, you guys have any cookie like that? And they go send somebody to buy it, come over, we make a tea and sit down, you know. I said, Tokiwa-san, I saw one film last night, it's a very bad movie. Why are you playing that? He said, what? And my producer get very shocking about it. I said, yeah, because you're very talented. Why? He says, I want to tell you something. Always they want something like this for us. And I get tired, I need change. I said, welcome to club. Okay, go please cut your hair, and you cut the nails, and I give my t-shirt to her, and I start to get a relationship with her. For a long time we're talking this, that. Because she has so much experience. She can give you 10 times look into something, 10 different ways. Even the camera will be there. And I try to cut the whole 10 and make it number 11, something natural from his heart. Which I find that she always, hide the heart in the filmmaking, trying to play the part just. Amazing actress. And also, for example, Sasano-san, Takashi Sasano, amazing actor. But he told me, Amir, from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I have one film. Then my agent bring me to another film. From 4 o'clock, from 4 to 8, another film. I don't know what this character is. Just I'm reading, I'm doing. And there is but they help me a lot. Actually, in America, I always am making film with a non-actor. I go to bars, I go to a street, I find the people, I try to make them actor, which is in Iran, in my country too. And here I find that I find them in America and try to make them actor. And here I find them there's so much acting, I try to make them non-actor. And actually I should really appreciate it from them. They help me a lot. Because they're professional. They smell something, they're my best friend now, even you never know exactly our language, but relationship as a director and actor is very well between me and them. I think it's very, very good actors and very good crew. Crew in this country is amazing. Crew there because they help to each other very well. Lighting, these camera, everybody do something. First, they should trust you. Trust is very important in this country. Without trust, impossible. Go home, cut. Okay? After trust, they try to bring himself and cooperate with you in the best way, which is America now. America, after you start and trust you, they make question of you. Why this, why that? Here, no question. That's the reason I feel it in my film and here, even I don't know your language very well, or I don't know exactly, or something like that. My signature is more than any film in this. Because everybody helped me to do anything I want, including my producers. They just coming with me. Just, I get my pen, I try to write this, and they help me to do it. They make a space and, breach, and feeling, let me try to do it. It's an amazing crew. Very good country. But find the money is very difficult. I wish my producer can talk about it.
I noticed on the trailer that you were using classical music. What was it, Strauss or Vivaldi or something like that? I'm always interested in how directors work with composers and how they choose music, whether the music is chosen by the movie or whether the composer can come in and make an artistic contribution that may be slightly different to what the director was thinking about. You talked about film noir, think of like The Third Man, and we think of the music first. Can music sometimes be helpful in creating tension, or is it sometimes an issue for a director? Just generally, how do you approach music in your movies?
Sir, let me be honest with you. I never use music in my films. Never.
Never?
Never. Because, I think it's, there's a, because I think it's, try to help it for the dramatic way, or push something, or express something, or make it more romantic something, or more action something, or whatever, whatever things. I'm teaching design the sound. My film is always about editing, pacing, and design the sound. Sound is always music in my film, including in this one. Including in this one. And including in Japan in the past, there's amazing there's a pacing, and they're working without music. They're mostly, there's again, I'm talking about Shimizu movies in the past, or so many old directors. Music, nature of the music mostly came from Hollywood, because they wanted, I love the music for listening, of course. Actually, I love so many composers like an American, there's Mikio Naruse or Max Steiner or Franz Waxman, or there's even the modern way, there's like Roll Coder or whatever. But not so many films, first of all, cinema needs music, of course. I don't want to say no, but I love the challenge to not use it. Always the people see my film and I talk with them about the music. They think they never remember it. I don't have the music, because always for some kind of sound, I make the music for you. For example, for this film, I always listening to there's a Fifth Symphony from Beethoven. I try to the editing like that. Boom, 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 boom. Always, if you see the whole punching like dancing and body language and everything like that, but violent, but not like violent as a horror movie or the Hollywood movie. But so many great films, as you said, Third Man is amazing. I think there's for example, the people like Antonioni, they use the music for like the Alain René, or like there's a Godard, I can say that, or Maurice Piala, which is one of my favorite filmmaker involved, there is that. And there's I think there's Osamu Shunji. We talk about it, Shunji Sama. And I think they use the music to, like, another character. It's not so many times happen. It's not so many times happen. Sometimes, work is very well. And actually, for example, Kurosawa-san, music, I'm not so happy with the way he used it, except until a couple of scenes in the run, or a couple of scenes, like that. Because most of them, he working with the editing and sound of the horse, or horse running, or rain, or this. That is amazing music in this film. If you're watching, for example, there's his old film like Turner Blood. You don't need music in there. Amazing wind, this, and they give you so much expression like you're hearing the music. As a result, everything came from the character, from personality. I don't like the music. I love the Tohira. I love the Mahler. I'm crazy about it. But not for the film. Put it this way. I don't want to take advantage from anything to make my films better. No. On failure, I don't give it down. I get something that's good. That's the reason I put myself always in challenge. I said to people in New York, and I want to go to Japan and make a movie. Everybody said, are you crazy? I said, of course. They said, Japan. I said, Japan. Sit down and watch. I come over and everybody looking to me like that too. But except that, there's my producer, I talk with them, there's after that they trust me, what I want to do. And actually, there's my last film about gambling in the Las Vegas. That one is one of my favorite films from the Scorsese. He loved it. And anyway, music is very personal. But not so many countries. For example, in England, we don't have the good music for the film, except, everything came from us. Third Man came from the, there's a Spanish guy, that is there. And for example, there's Lawrence of Arabia came from, Mauritius. Or these are so many things. Because life in England, it totally is different. So much mise-en-scène on it, so much, fog or this or that. If you see the film, for example, Entertainer, we don't need the music. The body language from the Laurence Olivier as a character is Archie is amazing. It's the music. Of course it's music. Here in the phone in here, so many people passing, walking, passing like music. And he said, what? What? And talk like music. Somebody like Tony Richardson will talk about it. One of them is a great filmmaker, in England, which does not exist now, unfortunately. Or Schlesinger in the early his life. Making the movie in England. But French is very good with it. French is always as good with it. There's most of the time influence on the film. That one is very bad. Most of the time influence. And Italy, if the anytime is going to tradition way, like the Napoleon or this or that, the singing or, that kind of thing. Yes, if they want to make it dramatic, doesn't work. And I mentioned that, for example, there's people like Godard, people like Alain René, people like Alain Cavalier, people like Maurice Pialat, people like, there's Antonioni, mostly, they use the music against of the film. And not so many good musicians for the film, like Gianni Fosco or something like that, in Italy. In this country, almost we don't have a good music. We have a good musician, good artist, yes, not much with the help the film as a inside the character. Try to just outside the character, try to make it more clean and good and more interesting. Sir.
You talked about the declining number of theaters to show movies. How do you think, as a professional in this business, that the development of new devices to watch movies counteracts this? In other words, iPads, there's so many ways that today I can watch a movie. I can get on a plane, I can get on a train, I can watch a movie, something I couldn't do before. Well, on the plane I could watch whatever movies they were offering me, but now I can choose which one I want to watch. Do you think that's a plus, minus? How do you look at it?
Sometimes you love it one girl, and his brother a very nasty person. What you should be with it because you love the girl. We love the cinema. This kind of things, iPod or this or that, like bad brothers. For me, this is not cinema. Cinema, we should go to cinema, buy the ticket, go to cinema, find the chair exactly which one, for the distance, good thing, and you go to drink, start to watch it and experience it, and done, and go home. And think about it, like it or don't like it. That's the cinema. For example, one of the worst things in the TV today in Japan, so many information in one frame. So many, and here's something, and here's something, and here's something, something in here, something in here, something in here, and two people talk. That's it. So much information, not cinema, film like that too. We lost that feeling of the privacy between your eyes, your heart, your experience with the screen. It's gone. Of course this thing is good. Of course it's good. I love the technology. I love working with it every day. But this is not. No. And if you go to I go to so many festivals and always I be in the aeroplane. I go to bathroom in the back and I'm walking. I see so many, there's a TV, on, so many just action movie or this or that. They just want to kill the time. They don't want to experience anything. Experience with the film is gone. It's over. For example, the film like High and Low, one of the amazing film in Japan. There's a 60, 64, I think they made it. Amazing you can get from culture, amazing document about the culture, people, country, and also this city, Tokyo. We've gone this way, there's nothing. And there's I love that, of course, Netflix or I don't know, there's a DVD, or now is there another disease coming, 3D, 3 whatever. What the hell is that? You tell me. Of course I like it. If this is the cinema, if the 3D, this action movie, this, until to here, little space for independent movie. Not exist anymore. Independent movie in here. Gone. Of course, if they do privacy, we sit down and I'm enjoyed with the one film, for example, in the aeroplane or some places. Of course. But this is not cinema. This is not cinema. Like reading the books and the internet, whatever. Reading. I want to go to the bathroom, put something, and go and come back. And I'm thinking about it. It's insulting. Actually, I came to your office tonight. First thing I find it is, after a long time, I find it crime and punishment. I said, you don't remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, crime and punishment should be in the book, for God's sake. Should be, you feel it. Feel it for his writing, about Raskolnikov's character. Please.
How you always decide the title of the movie?
Title is very important, actually. I think it's any film in the beginning has so many different titles. Until one title is coming to you and knock the door like the postman, there's a ring twice. The one time, if you open the door, or second time open the door, you can get it. If not, you lose it again. Cut is coming to me actually. There's from long. Always I say cut about anything. I'm talking, I say cut and go to next subject. And I find that this is my life. But cut in this film is very different. Actually, there's one of them. Registrar told me about why is it cut? My friends or my investors sometimes call me and says, Amir, ask me why this cut. I says, I'm sorry, cut the bullshit from past cinema. That's it, honestly. And make it new something. That's a cut.
I'm not sure we had this conversation before, but I never understand the thing you say about music. I mean, music was even before dialogues, right? I mean, it was at the time of your movie you had music. And why do you want to cut, if you have one extra finger, which is the music, or one second extra finger, which is 3D, and one third extra finger, which is smell, and so I understand what you say when you say that the music sometimes kills the movie. And sometimes you're watching actually the image or the melody. Like there are many movies where the composer takes power, I think, but let's say you take out Bernard Herrmann from Hitchcock, you take out Takemitsu from Kwaidan, you take out, I don't see why you would have an opposition specifically and how can I say, I don't think why you see music as something that is inherently weakening a movie. And I think you could make the case maybe for dialogues. You could say, okay, like, Ilya Kazan says dialogue is like the source. We don't care dialogues. Which I totally disagree with that, but I don't understand this in your...
Registrar, everything came from challenge. Okay? Because I think it's, I make the film, for me, filmmaking very personal things. I make a film first for myself, to challenge myself. I can go forward, I can make something, there's a new, and get something from the element, have a chance to work with it. There's a music, it's always, there's a, so many times I remember the music, not film, which is very sad. Because music is very good. Good composer, good this, good that. Sometimes in cinema it's a match. For example, there's in Psycho, Hitchcock, with the Bernard Herrmann you mentioned it, of course. But sometimes it happens because genius like Hitchcock, I can use it. But Bernard Herrmann or another guy, for example, Bernard Herrmann music for 451 trophy is very bad. Music is good for own. I think it's good for he did it for the first music for the Setsenken as a magazine. I think after that couple of music he did it, there's one of for my tweets, Ghost, something like that, Rick Sison on it. I think it's not so many times happened. Not so many times. Sometimes, yes, but not so many times. As a result, I prefer not use that for so many times. So many times, or sometimes I like the challenge to not use that. Because I think the sound in my film exactly like music. The sound in my film, you can mention it. Exactly like music. I used it. I used it because always I work with the wind, and this or that kind of thing exactly with music. I don't want to compare. I don't want to, there's two guys, there's hungry in the street and one person to violin on it. But most of the time it's that. You never remember any music from the, for example, Bergman movie. Never. Sometimes you use the Bach. Sometimes you use the, there's or Bresson. You sometimes use the, for example, there's Mozart. Or there's a Louis Malle, Eric Satie, or Weber. Of course, that kind of things. Because I search about that. They choose the music and write about it. That is great. They listen to music and then write about it, a story. To can use it. As a result, very personal for me. I never say should everybody not do it. But I give the answer my personal question to the personal answer to this is my question.
Thank you. And what about story then? How important is a good story to a director? Can a director make a brilliant movie without believing in the story, just through his artifice or her style? Or do you see the story as the most important thing that drives the success of the movie? And just a follow-up question to that. What's your philosophy of telling a story? Do you try to do it the most economical, efficient way? Every scene is important, leading to something else? Or sometimes you just like to keep the camera running and it just goes on and it exposes something. So how do you view these issues?
Sir, as you know, so many great books in the world, including Crime and Punishment or War and Peace, or there's Faulkner books, or this and that. We don't have a good film from it.
Yes.
That's
right.
And some of them good film, they change it. They try to excuse it in a lot. For example, Clifford Brass, there's a John Steinbeck book, and John Ford did it. I think it's everything depends on different person. Myself, I should experience something, then I write about it, then I make it. I never can choose the one story or one book or this or that. One time I did it in my country. I'm so sad about it, which is a good movie, but not mine, because I wanted to experience it. Then if you experience it, the pacing and character and development and mise-en-scène and this and that and everything is came from your heart and from your experience, try to share it with somebody else. Well, fortunately we have so many different ways to make a movie. Okay, book, or this for TV or for this, or you can do anything you want. Sometimes you find a book is matched with your experience. That's great. You're very lucky if you can do it. For example, there's a Bresson, he made 4 films, so I think it's 3 or 4 films from influence from Dostoevsky. Pickpocket, or the other ones, and Fortnight of the the Dream Person, or another one is the Quiet Woman, or this or that. But this is not Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky novel remind him, okay, what you can do with this story, with your experience. That's the reason Pickpocket is one of the amazing movies. There's for example, there's but so many storytellers. Oh my God, American people, Raoul Walsh, or so many great directors choose the book and write it and make it very well, but nothing from their heart. It came from professionalism. That is different story. And you watch it, for example, Lawrence of Arabia, it came from the 3 or 4, 5, 6 book, which is, finally came from the one heart, Robert Ball, the writer. And then, every day, the devil didn't work with them. It came from them, that character. Which is why? Because somehow Lynn and also Robert Ball is a little bit, close to, there's a sexuality, about the man-to-man or this or that. And they find that that's the interesting things, the man in the desert, which is very big challenge for them in the early 60s. They bring that one in cinema, which is that big budget. That's the reason you always make the film about the man's films. Look at, for example, Bridge of River Kwai. All of them man. One scene with the one woman somewhere. Or look at and actually he goes to make a film about a woman with a royal girl. He's falling because this is not his heart. Royal girls, it doesn't work. Cinematography, everything, this and that, everything amazing. Not just no.
There's a good wind scene when they're having the love scene. The wind is
the wind, but to make it romantic, the light is coming from the from leaf shadow.
You like that?
Yeah, but this is not whole different 3 hours and 25 minutes. Yeah. I have one scene 3 minutes like that, which is mostly came from the actors. But you try to make the one film about against of the love, which is in the summertime, is amazing with Cartoon Harbor. Or look at the film he did about Oliver Twist or this about Dickens. None of them about love. About his childhood experience, he tried to make it, get from Dickens and bring it to cinema. As a result, there's your experience is important. Oh, you can make, for example, Scorsese. I know Scorsese very well. He's a great director. He has started to make first movie, actually came from his experience, who knocked in the door. And the second one came from his knowledge from the films, from the Billion Berda or something like that, you know, or all the, 1920s movies. And then, after that, Scorsese said, John Cassavetes is punching and put him in the wall, says, hey, bullshit, don't do these things. Go back to your experience. You're from Little Italy. You grew up somewhere. You know about this, you know about family, you know about the spaghetti, you know about fighting, you know about, 10 different people live in the one room and they're screaming every day, something comes from the window to the street and nobody can care about it, this is that. And he made an amazing movie and one Ministry. Even Ministry, New York movie, he made it in LA. Just 6 days shooting in and Taxi Driver, it came from his heart. Raging Bull, it came from his heart. For example, his art that we're making now came from his professionalism. Buy the book, make the movie because where he should put the camera, which is good for him. But
and what about your philosophy for making a movie? Do you like to tell the story efficiently, one scene to another, or does the movie develop on its own?
Always I come with one idea. Okay, let me tell you this. Always I buy one coat, jacket, and try to find the one person they match with it. Never I go with the story. First, location for me important. Okay, I want to make the film in Japan, cut. I don't want to make the film in Japan in the street, cut. I don't want to make any street in this film, they own this, that, cut. But I want to make the film about Japan and Japanese people and this and that. What should I do? Okay, all the film I did it in the one gene, almost 20 people in there, and all of them characters came from the one kind of character in this country. Hate, love, this, that, this, everything you know about this country is there. And sometimes I go outside, with my characters go outside, you show the film, which is heart of his life, because he's filmmaker, and heart of the old film in this country. I never use the location as a beautiful location like this. My camera is very stingy to stay in the inside the character and talk about character in Japanese character, which cannot be happen in another place. Even Korea in 3 hours from here. Totally different story. I try to put myself in the challenge. How I can say something with the one location I like, and which is actually, I'm very lucky in this film, my producer gave me a chance to work with the 4 camera. Because I'm concerned about anything, and I'm concerned about my character gets sweat, and there's hard days in the shooting in the August, and I try to cut the whole, there's a condition and this and that, and then I try to bring that feeling of the character, not acting, and the feeling and pacing tells the story. That dialogue or looking, of course, for following the story. Between the 2 dialogues is important for me. How can my actor do something? Any person, including in Chile and Swedish and Africa in my country, Iran, can relate with it as a human. And then the dialogues in different countries, different languages, different dramas go, open the door, close the door, this or that, whatever. I try to stay with the one line and play with it. Like I love the Bach, variation about the one thing. But some people is great with it. Actually, I saw one film from Bellatar. Bellatar is a Hungarian filmmaker and filmmakes. I know him very well, he's a great guy. 3 hours movie. It's called The Touring Horse. Touring Horse. Guys, go to see it now on the screen. You experience something. I tell you from now. All of them variation about the one thing. About Friedrich Nietzsche, one day in the one windy situation in one village with one horse. And the horse don't want to move. And go watch it. You experience something in your life. About filmmaking, about directing, about movement, about sound, touring horse. Which is a story like this. does that depend to, what you're thinking and, does that exactly came from the experience? Yes, sir.
What do you think of documentary films?
I loved it. Actually, I've been a couple of times as a jury filmmaker, jury in the Yamamoto Film Festival, which is, I think is one of the best, or I can say the best film festival about documentary in the world. I think it's, I know the people, make it happen, that festival. I think documentary is very, 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 very necessary. And I think so many films and cinemas came from documentary style. All the Rossellini's came from documentary, But it's the documentary mostly, there's one thing about documentary very different, which is, for example, I love Fellini. Okay, Fellini, sit down and write with the 6 people, one script. Okay, go to shooting. After the shooting, editor coming, cut to this, cut to this, cut to this, cut to this, and finished it. Cut. Exactly everything came from a script. And he put own word, own magic as a filmmaker to, the day they're shooting or, that kind of things. But there's, for example, there's a documentary, Rossellini, no. They're shooting so many things. Rossellini did it better, actually. He also have a script. But so many documentary films, they're shooting, they make the film in table as editing. That is different story. They shot, for example, 200 hours or 100 hours about something, about one strike or something, then go 6 months editing and take off the one story out of it. In different way for us as a filmmaker. Filmmaker for us, think about something, write it, shooting, editing, and put it there. That's the thing. Documentary, so many documentaries in the world, subject is more important to the way they make it. But documentary, of course. But documentary, for example, there's the Grison in England, actually. One of them is amazing. Or, there's the old documentary, like, the Man of Iron, or, Flaherty. Or in this country, the guy did it in war. So many documentary he did it, and he's in the band. What's the name that Japanese documentary person? And anyway, documentary is very important, but totally different. Again, it came from your taste. Always, I love to see it. I don't like to make it. I love to do something very specifically about life in the documentary way. That's totally different. Not there, I'm captured it. Of course, it's amazing. But like Fellini, he always do this. Bring the documentary style, they capture the life he made it. He put it in front of the camera. It's very different. But yes, I love it. And I think today, so many film festivals like Sundance, I think bring amazing, there's filmmakers. And there's I think it's very good, so many, actually there's Robert mentioned about the Netflix or this or that. So many good documentaries, you never have a chance to see it in cinema, which is even good film, you never have a chance to, but you have a chance to see it, and the internet or Netflix or this or that. So many amazing information about today. It came from documentary films today. Yes, yes, sir. One of them amazing. One of them my friend did it in America about food. It's amazing. After you watch the film, you don't want to touch the meat. Yeah, documentary is very important. But again, sometimes subject more important to style the film. Yeah. We love Ermanno Olmi. He's one of the most important, the early 50s as a documentary filmmaker. But he bring it to, as a filmmaker, he bring it that style, he make it mise-en-scène and then capture it like documentary, which is great movies. His first film's Job, and after that, so many films Olmi did it. But one person like Ozu, oh my God, Ozu, what are you doing? You put the camera here, he make it documentary inside the camera, inside the frame. People coming, leaving, things happen. But no, he mise-en-scène it. If you're reading his script, he said, take the 2 second this shot, Noriko coming from left and coming 3 seconds, and open this door 1 second and go out 1 second. Make it like that, which is what respect about that, which is also one of the amazing, actually.
The language of the movie is, of course, Japanese, and I think director should know the language to make that connection with the crew, especially with the actors. So I assume that you know Japanese to make that connection with actors. If it is not the case, how you can make that? How do you control the actions and approve it final?
I think there's so many things before language make the one thing. Language is one of them. Belief and heart to heart. What I'm doing, for example, I don't know your language. Actually, it's Iranian. I don't know Japanese language. Okay. I want to translate. My friend is coming. Translate what I want to do, and then I start to make relationship with my actor. For example, like conductor, like this. He opened the door and coming this. I said, no. He know it. Little bit less, little bit this, little bit this. Not with language talk too much with them. And actually, I'm very lucky in this case, in Japan, so many people know English, but they try to talk about it. For pronouncing or this or that. And also, they more listening to your feeling and your expression about what you wanted from them. Dialogue is there. Dialogue, because we're rehearsing, they know exactly what's going on. And sometimes, of course, I give the chance, I wanted actually, that my actor, change the dialogue. And that make it improvise a little bit, bring their own. Size should be same. I put them in a very hard situation.
Not
Size
exactly
should be same, but and as a result, dialogue is. I never have any problem in this film with dialogue, because already we work in with English and Japanese. We are with Ayama Shinji, which is very good, my friend. And then we're rehearsing, we get a good actor read it, we did it, reading, and 1 or 2 or 3 times rehearsing. They know the dialogue. They don't know what to do with this dialogue. They don't know from this dialogue until to here, what did they do? This is the cinema, not dialogue. Ozu, even he have a dialogue, pacing in the Ozu is making Ozu until today, after 65 years. Pacing the body language, movement, silence, looking, open the door, close the door, sit down, stand up, say something, go out. Dialogue, everybody can do it. Get professional person for you. Easy. But very bad actor. Very bad actor. Because they just do it like mechanism. Not came from your heart. I try to. Okay, let me put it this way.
So that's why the actor should be professional, right? Because
not professional.
No. You just look for somebody that to come and act it, not necessarily professional.
No, the process to get relationship with the actor, with the non-actor, finally, it's important to you guys know each other. One moment, what I'm doing myself, I never talk to my actor in front of other person. Never. Always I bring you, for example, in there, with my translator one time, and then after that, that's it. If you be wrong, I come and say, and because 10 times I did it so far in the other shot, then he know it. He know this is the, move here, he know this is low, and he know this is pause, and this, he know my language very well. Okay? And then, I never, for example, screaming in the side, oh, no, very slowly, no, close the door. No, never. Relationship with the actor is very important, mostly Japanese. Because Japanese very shy about, if somebody is screaming or something, or say something in front of other people like that. Should be gentle to get into his heart or her heart. I did a relationship with them. That's it. Relationship with the acting is important. And of course, language is one of them. Look into Kurosawa movies. Dialogue is, they're coming. Then, this is important.
Yes. Thank you.
We have time for one more question. There's one person who wants to ask the final question.
In which country or city are you interested in besides Tokyo or Japan?
Me?
Yes.
Actually, not country. I like desert. I like Nevada.
Desert and
Nevada desert, and New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, New York. I love that. Las Vegas. I love that. America loved it because of so much challenge, so much craziness, so much, you can push your limit, which I loved it. And which is in Japan, no limit, just, you should be very gentle. I like New York because I find so many people like myself try to challenge and get something from their life. So many people are staying in one line to get something from their life, and every day morning people wake up, and try to go to another marathon again, and do this, that. And I love that for that reason, challenge. You never be comfortable in America. After graduating in New York and Las Vegas, for me, Tokyo like heaven. Everywhere like heaven. For me, if you don't believe it, go to New York 1 week and we talk about it.
I like the desert as well. I think the Death Valley is one of the most beautiful places in the world. I love Tokyo too. Well, thank you so much. I don't know if you want to say something. So when is the movie opening? In 2 days, right?
I think should be the ending sound.
Okay,
one thing I want to make one question about ending.
Okay.
I want Engin to talk about a little bit about financing about this movie and how the financing in cinema and today mostly this film. Okay.
Again, don't be shy. Come on, you. Some information. You represent our alma mater.
Yeah. And with Son in Trouble, I loved it.
Well, I'll say a couple of words. Like Regis mentioned, Eric, Regis, and myself, we have this company called Tokyo Story, and the way we financed this film was fairly different from the way most Japanese films are financed. We actually raised all the financing from individual investors. We had 37 individuals who trusted us, trusted Amir, trusted what we were trying to create. I guess trusted our vision for what Cut was. These were mostly people we knew, friends and friends of friends. We basically divided the film into 100 equal units, and then we basically we had people coming in and investing in anywhere from 1 to, I think our biggest investors 7 or 8 units. So it was a fairly social process. Last year, I guess we started in June of 2010, and we, for example, until December, for about 6 months, every week every Thursday we had an event. Robert came to some of them. Some of them were at Havana Cafe in Roppongi for about, I guess, 26 weeks, for 6 months straight. We had a weekly party where people came out. We talked about the film. We hung out, drank, ate. It was the social environment. Some people interested in film, some people interested in investing in film. That's how we got some of our investors. We met at those events, and so on. But it was, it has its pluses and its minuses. Obviously, when you raise money through individual investors, first of all, it's a very lengthy. Instead of someone coming through with $1 million, you're knocking on, 100 plus doors, and 37 of them actually opening and supporting you. But it's, what was important for this film, I guess, the plus of financing it that way was it allowed us to give Amir the creative vision that he needed. The more industry money that you have in film, the more they're trying to control things, the more they try to control the script, the more they try to put in a couple of actors that they may want, and so on. So the more, I guess, commercial film industry money that you have, the less creative control you can give your director in this film. Obviously, a lot of what this film's about is about what Amir wanted to create. So it really allowed us to do that. But then, raising financing through so many different people who've trusted us, that also puts quite a bit of weight on your shoulders. We obviously put quite a bit of our own money into this project as well, but this weight of people who've trusted us, that also puts us under more pressure. We were as open as we could be with people. We told people we don't want anyone's life savings. We want you to forget about this money on day one. Hopefully a year and a half, 2 years later, we'll be bringing it back to you. But if you cannot afford to lose this, we don't want your money, and so on. So yeah, that's what I'll say about about the financing. In terms of the film, it's actually opening this Saturday at Cinemark Shinjuku, and also, if any of you live in Osaka, I doubt it, but at Cinemark Shinsaibashi. It's not going to be with English subtitles in Shinjuku, but January 7th, it's actually opening in Cinemark Roppongi with English subtitles. That's very close, if you know where Fridays is in Roppongi. It's just a 2-minute walk from Fridays. We actually, I haven't checked with Robert if this is okay, but we could also do it outside the building. I actually have advance tickets if anyone's interested, 1,500 yen instead of 1,800 yen that you would pay at the cinema, so if anyone's interested. I do have those signed by Amir. You can obviously help us out, go home, get on our Facebook page, go home, tweet, talk about Amir, talk about the film, talk about what we did. And that's, I guess that's all I have.
Well, thank you very much. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful way to end the year. And again, thank you, Chris and Alan. So, well, thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.